with this, I guess I'm not sure how, I guess we're gonna talk to you and let you know the addresses or email. I don't know the best form,
That's what we gotta work out right there. Yep.
but once we get that established, when we let you know that DTE needs to be contacted, on this piece of paper right here is the phone number to DTE. It's the same one that you call out of your phone book at home.
Mhm.
But the secret to this is when, as soon as you hear the recording, there's this PIN number right here. As soon as you hear their recording start, you just punch this number in, 954687.
Don't use the pound?
No, I just put the number so that's what the pound means.
Okay.
You just hit 954687 on the recording.
Okay.
And then what that does is it just takes you right to a live operator.
Okay.
Okay, because that's just like the code, however they have that set up in there. And then after that, they're gonna ask you exactly what's on here. Most likely, if you're coming to us for this, the structure fire part still applies for you, because when we get wires that come down on houses, or sheds, or fences that lead to structures,
Right.
they start on fire when these wires come down and they're live. So that's why I put that at the bottom here. These are all the questions that you're gonna need to know, okay, for DTE. You'll get some operators and they won't go to the next question because they're reading right off of a script. They won't move to the next question until you can answer. Is it pole to pole? Is the wires down? Are they arcing?
So the information that you give us is gonna have the answers to
Yes,
this?
yep. But this is what you're gonna need to be prepared to answer. Now, when it's busy and everything else, some of it you're just gonna have to think common sense. You're gonna have to give them an answer just to get to the next question.
Yeah.
We've had to do that too, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep asking my command scene over the radio, because I'm not there either. So a lot of this I know just by common knowledge and what they tell me. Pole to pole is huge. If it's pole to pole, pole to house, and then if you've got wires down, and I don't know why they ask this all the time, because you give them the address and you tell them where it is, they're still gonna ask you, is it near a park, school, or playground? They're still gonna ask you that. So it's always no, unless, obviously if it comes at an address where that is, then you're gonna say yes to it. But this is mostly gonna happen, most of the time it's at night. We do get it during the daytime, but pole to pole, is fire and EMS gonna be standing by? If anyone's trapped inside a car, we get that a lot, even with just a simple accident, or they're driving along, the wires come down, and there's people in the car with live wires over the top. So we'll be able to address that too. Anything where there's a hazard for a building catching fire, or somebody that has the potential of being harmed, we'll make sure we let you know that, because you've got to really stress to that dispatcher you're talking to at Detroit Edison the importance of it. Because if you don't, it just gets forgotten about. Anything that you tell them that's special will go into remarks, so they're going to know that this needs to be stepped up because there is a hazard here. And you
So-
got to make sure you say it.
We gotta sell them.
You got to sell them, yeah. And they're just so you have an understanding, because it's taken us a while to figure it out also. When you call them, you're just getting a call center. They don't know anything about what DTE does. It's just a call center. So what they do is they take that information and then they transfer it to their dispatch. So it's just a call center that gathers this information. That's why they can't move to the next question without getting the answer. It goes to a dispatch center, which we don't even have access of talking to. And then they dispatch out their rigs, and then that dispatch center will then call the call center to then call us back to give us the ETA. This call center can never give you an ETA. Our fire will ask, I need an ETA.
Don't have it.
Don't have it, and we're not gonna get it. And even when we call this back to ask, they don't have it. They just put another request through their system saying, we're asking again for an ETA. So it's really, it's tough. And then for a structure fire, if we let you know, okay, now at this address, the building's now on fire, we need you to call back DTE tell them,
Did they give you
There's
an
gonna-
incident number
there is.
when you report
That's
it?
what I have down here. It's called a T number,
Okay,
a TN number, or a reference number. Now, if you use the website, the thing I want to caution you on that website, and that's the full address that we have in our Mavis system, which takes us right to the link for the login. And then once you click on that, the first thing you see is it's asking you for the PIN number, which is, again, it's this number right here. That number, and that is Central Dispatch's PIN number. Eventually, Tim mentioned that we should get you your own number, because this is agency specific. So this is tied in, they're gonna recognize you as Central Dispatch with this
Right.
number. They're gonna
and
ask,
they're gonna respond back to you by phone then?
well, they're gonna
Right.
respond back to the number you give them.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But this just something to remember, that this number is for Central Dispatch, and until you get one for you guys out here. So if you are to be called back with the ETA, you wanna make sure that you're giving your number, okay? Your callback number. Cause that's all they're gonna ask for is your callback number, and they're gonna ask your name, because they keep their records too, so if a lawsuit comes around, they're gonna have in their records, I spoke to Jane Doe on this date with this PIN number, with this callback number. So we'll be able to distinguish whether it's one of us or one of you by the callback number and obviously your name. And where we're at, everything's recorded.